Greetings and bienvenue, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jeremy Wormy, and I have just finished watching all 3 episodes of Ironheart out the gate, and I have slowly died inside by watching these things, especially considering I didn't have alcohol through it. It easily would have probably been better if I was just piss drunk the entire time. But after watching these 3 episodes, I can safely confirm without a shadow of a doubt that this is 100% nothing more than MCU modern day slop content dedicated to reminding you almost every single episode that, well, Riri's black.
Hey, black people.
Hello.
And she just wants to be iconic and be, well, known for being iconic. That's her entire goal and motivation. And oddly enough, try to also be better than Tony Stark.
Your girl finna be bigger than Jobs.
Right.
Bigger than Gates.
Right.
Bigger than Pym.
Right.
Bigger than Stark.
Yeah.
But you, Riri Williams, are making an iron suit.
People are obsessed with them. I could build 1,000 other things, and no one would care. But if I could build one of them, better than everyone else, people got no choice but to respect me.
And after getting kicked out of MIT for plagiarism, Riri has this smart idea to steal her own suit that, yes, she did build with grant funding that she got via the Stark Foundation.
I did that, right?
Flies all the way to Chicago in said suit just for it to all fall apart at the very last second. But guess what? Riri needs funding, so the smart idea to help build her new suit that will always be better and more functional than Tony Stark's suit, Riri decides to join, well, the Hood Gang. And since this is modern day, the Hood Gang is complete with every diverse individual you could possibly think of. Diverse Hispanic dude that's good with knives. Random white chick that I question is probably a lesbian. Her random white chick friend who I can't tell is also a lesbian and or is trans. We also got our lovely Slug who said this whole entire gang is like modern day Robin Hood good guys, but in reality they're some of the worst individuals on the face of the freaking earth. Oh, and last but not least, crazy black chick who's a pyro. Wouldn't you have it, Riri's actually not the most insufferable member of their entire Hood gang.
I'm about to open up a school for kids as a money laundering front for my black market explosive.
But yes, Riri has decided to join said Hood gang to help fund her entire operation of building giant robot to make herself iconic and better than Tony Stark. And through doing heists and breaking and entering and causing massive damage throughout the entire city, she starts gaining money. Mind you, their first heist target is a company known as Tunnel, whose whole goal is to actually try to cut down on traffic throughout Chicago, and they're bad because reasons?
Wait, robbing the Sheila Zarate? You mean Sheila, I don't care if my tunnels destroy entire communities if it makes me rich? Zarate?
See, the show ends up telling me they're bad because they're destroying entire neighborhoods. The problem is they're doing this whole tunnel system underneath Chicago, so they're not destroying entire neighborhoods. So I don't know. But first heist goes off without a hitch, considering now Riri also has her good AI buddy, Natalie, who is modeled after her dead friend, Natalie, and was formed through the creation of Riri's memories of Natalie. Oh, and by the way, Natalie died with Riri's stepdad in a gang shooting. But wouldn't you have it, Riri's suit just isn't up to snuff yet. Even though she's getting funding, she's planning heists, she's joined in with a gang, her suit still needs a little bit more to be able to power itself. So she incorporates the help of a pathetic white dude who has ties to the black market and has a massive hobby of, well, procuring illegal weaponry, who in the 3rd episode is revealed to be Obadiah Stane's son. Oh, they also revealed that nobody knew how Obadiah Stane actually died in the entire history of the MCU, and they always thought that he died via plane accident and didn't go full Ironmonger. Yeah, that's an actual plot point in the 3rd episode. But after Riri incorporates the help of Obadiah Stane's son, she now has her suit to be powerful enough and is now capable of actually doing everything she needs it to do for heist number 1, which is taking down Tunnel by causing a massive error in a test system. Again, I don't know why we're taking down Tunnel, and the show doesn't really explain why they're taking down Tunnel, and ultimately the gang really doesn't take down Tunnel because even though they said they wanted to take down Tunnel, their actual goal is to have Tunnel sign them to jobs in which they get salaries, full benefits, and the entire thing that the Hood Gang actually does is corporate espionage, it looks like. And remind you, we were told by the Slug actor that these people were supposed to be modern day Robin Hoods fighting against corruption and entitled greed. But as Heist 1 comes to an end, we end up discovering that, well, Natalie isn't so perfect and is somehow connected subconsciously to Riri's mentality, because when random white guard points a gun at them, Riri freezes up, Natalie freezes up, and they have to get saved by the Hood, who can, well, bend bullets. Then after the entire diverse Hood gang decides to celebrate their massive achievement of corporate espionage, the episode ends with Riri and Natalie deciding that they're gonna be good buddies together as they commit corporate espionage throughout Chicago. Oh, and also Obadiah's pathetic son decides to go out and cut a bunch of flowers because of a neighbor that keeps having her dog poop on his lawn. Yeah, I know I'm busting through this real quick, but it's pretty obvious. We're actually seeing throughout the show that Riri actually causes other people to do bad things, and through interactions with Obadiah Stane's son has now kind of set him on the path of becoming potentially the overall villain for the entire season. I know those little threads are being built up right now, and it's pretty obvious to see where they're gonna go with this, especially after episode 3, but at the same time, this is modern MCU, so modern threads that you see kind of building up potentially all lead to nothingness. And that brings us to episode 3, where at the beginning, we end up having Natalie and Riri go on a nice little picnic and a date together, in which they're going to be interacting the entire time and reminiscing about old memories. And Riri wonders why the heck Natalie has any of these old memories. It's not like it's pretty obvious that the AI is modeled after your own memories of Natalie. And then we see Riri have a panic attack when going to stepdad's garage for the first time since he died. Shortly thereafter, Riri has to make another trip over to, well, Obadiah Stane's son's house. Again, I'm not even going to remember his name. This is when we also get the whole breakdown that he's Obadiah Stane's son and how he's terrified of one day becoming Obadiah Stane. And I'm really convinced he's going to become Obadiah Stane just for Riri and is just going to be another Stane ironmonger kind of person, because we also see him after interacting with Riri now becoming more interested in actually dealing with his illegal technology that he had stored up in a bin, and was actually doing experiments on himself, including cutting open his own wrist. Mind you, YouTube, that is not me saying anything naughty. No, that is me talking about something that actually happened within the entire episode. But now it's time for heist number 3, in which the Hood Gaming is going to be taking on a sustainable farm factory within Chicago. And the justification is it's putting all the farms in Chicago out of business.
They're driving local farmers out of business.
That's right, guys. Chicago. It's known for its farms. And when they decided to conduct this entire operation against this company known as Heirloom, we end up seeing that this entire sustainability farm is actually found on Lake Michigan in Chicago. This all makes perfect sense. This giant self-sustaining farm that's putting all the other farms in Chicago out of business is actually found on Lake Michigan. And it's a mega fortress. But wouldn't you have this? This mega fortress actually has special security protocols in which it has metal detectors throughout the entire facility. I'm already gonna jump ahead a little bit, because if you ever break any of the rules on said impenetrable fortress sustainable farm, they'll lock you in a greenhouse, fill it up with O2 gas, and kill you. But back to the episode, heist number 2 is going underway. Everybody's doing their missions, but Riri sneaks out of her suit that is now being controlled by Natalie to go try to get a piece of the Hood's hood in order to analyze it, because it has special energy powers that Natalie is concerned about, even though the episode prior, Natalie was all on board with being a part of the Hood gang. So as Riri is trying to take a small part of the hood from the hood, try to say that 10 times fast, we also end up seeing the Hood interrogating and trying to get the sustainability farm CEO to sign over more rights to the Hood gang so the Hood gang can get another massive payout. And considering they have nothing to blackmail this CEO with, he's not playing along and nothing's going according to plan. Ultimately, Riri ends up tripping the metal detectors throughout the entire facility, causing the massive lockdown and the potential death of everybody within the actual facility itself, just for then the Hood to go on a temper tantrum and kill the CEO and forge his signature, which I don't know how any of that's going to help for their payout, but apparently it does. Then, as they are trying to fix everything and get everybody out of the greenhouses by breaking them all out and saving the day, Riri and Spanish dude, who's good at knives, confront each other. Mind you, this Spanish dude is actually the person that ended up getting Riri involved with the gang in the first place, but now Spanish dude is saying that he's always had negative vibes from Riri the entire time and should have just cut her out from the very beginning. Massive fight breaks out between Spanish dude and Riri, ultimately leading to them almost suffocating to death within the greenhouse itself, just for Natalie to come in to save Riri at the last minute, and then Riri slammed the door behind her, killing Spanish dude. And not once throughout these 3 episodes did I ever see Riri do anything heroic. Actually, she ruined people's lives, continued to just say she wanted to be iconic the entire time, and killed a man after joining a gang. Yeah, this is real heroism right here, guys. But episode 3 ends with, well, Riri yet again having another panic attack, and the Hood figuring out that Riri is actually the one that killed Spanish dude because of magic powers. Oh, and mind you, I should also mention this as well. At the beginning of episode 3, Riri openly said she doesn't believe in magic.
Magic is code for I don't know.
Even though in episode 2, she openly said that, hey, this is a world where Asgardians exist, Doctor Strange exists, aliens exist, all this stuff exists, things that do require magic.
We wake up to aliens, androids, wizards on our timeline every other day.
But Riri doesn't believe in magic, even though she said magic exists. Make any of that make sense? Ultimately, like I said at the beginning of all this, these 3 episodes are some of the most boring, slop-tastic content I've ever seen. I watched all 3 episodes, and you can see my watch throughs actually over on my locals, and I slowly wanted to die inside because they are some of the most boring things on the face of the earth. I ran through each and every single episode in front of you right now because they're filled with nothingness. They're super easy to just tell you what happened, and even when you try to figure out what happened and what was going on in the entire episode, they don't even explain it, so you're left with more questions than answers. And I know somebody's going to end up saying, hey, these are just the first 3 episodes out of 6 episodes, but remember, this was a show that was in the works for the past 3 years at this point in time and was actually done for the past 3 years, and they had to cut it up to all hell, and Disney just tried to get it done with by giving it 2 massive batch drops. And it's really easy to tell that they just wanted to get it all over with. And I didn't even mention the fact that they always have to try to remind you guys that, well, Chicago equals black, Riri is black, there's blackity black 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 all over the place, and this isn't even a racist thing. This is something that the show does an entire diatribe of black 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 black, because you have to seriously be reminded, guys, that Riri's black. At the end of the day, Ironheart is what everybody expected it was going to be. Nothing more than modern day MCU garbage that makes paint drying actually seem more entertaining. But I'm gonna leave it there, guys. Please give me your thoughts on all this down in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it out, friends, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell for every time I put out a new video and go live. If you wish to see my watch throughs of these actual episodes, you can check out my locals, the link in the description down below. And with that all out of the way, bye for now.